Hey guys, this is Doc Holiday, and wanted to walk through what I've been up to in game. So this first clip is showing off the mysterious relics that have popped up throughout Middle Earth, and this is the first one here in Oat Barton. So this is from the letter that we all saw from Turbine. This is from Bungo Grub. So just kind of walks through what's going on here, where this item is, and kind of wanted to show this. I talk about this quite a bit more in my podcast, walking through what I think of this event and some of the things. Probably my biggest frustration I had with that was there's no vector that tells you where to go. You just kind of have to go wander around. So didn't really do a whole lot else on my Warden. Most of the time, game lately has been on my Champion. So this is Champion. This is actually an Angmar. This is part of the what I consider new Book 8 revamp that they did. This Book 8 used to be throughout Karndun. This now takes you throughout various different areas within Angmar in a bunch of different fights that used to be a separate deed that they've now rolled into the Epic line. Was a fun fight. I enjoyed this back when it was in the Shadows of Angmar days, where actually it was a group fight, much more dynamic and a lot of fun to go through, run through this with a group of 50s, where you're going through and fighting an elite as well as a number of ads and things like that. It was an enjoyable fight, and just kind of wanted to show that. The revamp that they did on Book 8, I really enjoyed. Book 8 always was one of my favorite books from a story perspective, and the fact that they've now tied this is near the Angmar BG, which you kind of got thrown into the storyline with Book 9, whereas now this kind of sets the stage a little bit as to why this area is important and why some of these things are going on. So it does just help kind of set things up a bit better, and I definitely liked how that worked. This is one of the instances. Actually, it was a little bit dicey. One of the things about the Inspired Greatness buff is it's really great until you have to start trying to heal yourself. Potions and all your normal self heals that usually heal you for 10 to 20% of your morale don't really do much when you've got 15k morale. So it's one of those where it's a little bit trickier. One of the things, certainly about being a champ that I enjoy is being able to go ahead and DPS on all these targets all at the same time. So I can still stay focused on the boss, but be able to just burn down everything else as we go. This certainly was quite a bit closer than I had expected it to be. But one of the things that I started to notice, I was addressing a little bit recently, was my gear that I have on my champion is not that great. So I've been going through trying to do some upgrades with what my gear is and how I'm set up. So gone through and done quite a significant amount of tweaks and changes on my armor as well as on my jewelry. So trying to get that a little bit more up to par as to where I should be, and certainly running through Book 8 helps. This is just finishing off this guy. This is part of Book 8, Chapter 1. This is the third portion of Book 8, Chapter 1. This is another fight that is surrounding BG, and this again is another one of those that was part of another deed. This one's much simpler. This is just a normal elite mob, and I still have all the same Inspired Greatness buff on me. One of the things that I'm struggling trying to remember on my champion is all the different reactives that I have of, using hedge when I get disarmed, and the ability to cure fears, and a lot of the things that I just forget that I have. Still not 100% sure I've got the best rotation set up, but for the most part, working through, trying to build up fervor, and then going through and using it, and just keeping certain parts of fervor up for if I need to do interrupts and things like that. This is Chapter 5 of Book 8. So this is the fight with Mordirith, and this by far was one of my favorite battles in all of Shadows of Angmar, and I really enjoy it. I do enjoy the way that it used to be, but I like it now such that everyone gets a chance to see it. The way that it used to be was you had to run this as part of the entire Karn Doom instance. So you had to go through all of Karn Doom to the very top where this room is in order to finish that one chapter of that book. So it got to be a very, very daunting task of, a couple few hour raid basically to go through and just finish this one scene. So I do like the fact that they've shortened it up and made it a little bit easier. The original fight still is in the game, so if you go through and do run through Karn Doom and go through and do it that way, you still get to go through and fight Mordirth. It's actually a much tougher fight than this one. This one actually is scaled down in a number of different ways. The general gist is the same way, where you have to deal with Lorniel, who is Goldir's daughter. You still have to go through and deal with the shadows of that. And you have to go through the portion where, in this case, you'll notice Mordirth. I can't hit him. I can hit him, but I don't do much damage to him. So you have to go through that portion, and so that's still in effect. And then Goldir still does his special attack. The difference is in the waves of mobs that come across, and that's where the difference becomes. So in this case, all you do is you go through different waves of being able to damage him versus not damage him, and then the different battles with Lorniel. But outside of that, there's nothing else going on. Whereas if you do it through Karn Doom, there's a lot of other things going on. And you see here, this is where Goldir goes and knocks him down, and now he can go ahead and be damaged, so you save up all your power and then unload and wail on him with all your massive damage attacks that you can do until Lorniel comes out. So this was one of the big things I was doing this week is catching up on my epic line. The book 8 through the rest of volume 1 are all level 50 quests. So it's a great time for me to go through with the Inspired Greatness buff. I can do them solo, I can do them as part of a group, and I don't have to worry about what level I'm at. So this gives me a great time to go through and get some extra experience, enjoy the story that I really did enjoy going through the game. So I've really been having a lot of fun going back and redoing these. It's also a great chance to see what they've done to the game. This line has been changed quite dramatically. The book 8, and it's a lot of fun to go back and see kind of some of the attention that they're paying to the game and what they're looking to do. And in this case, this fight was a real pain to go through and do before they did any of the revamps. And the ability to go through and have this be something that you can jump right in and do and still experience the previous fight. I think this is the best combination they could have hoped to do of, giving players the ability to complete the storyline but still have that epic raid advance if they want to. So this, again, I just kind of wanted to show it. You'll notice, you probably haven't noticed, you haven't noticed already, the fact that my screen's all gray. That's due to the dread. So that is definitely, I did pop a hope token before I came in, but it still is a pretty dread-filled fight, so that's what's going on there. This fight can be a little tricky. Again, just from the standpoint of there's a lot of damage going on over time, and a champion doesn't have all that many ways to go through and heal himself, especially when you're talking about 10 and 15k morale. So the other disadvantage I have is since I'm under dread, I'm taking more damage than I normally would. So that's, certainly champs have enough issues with being squishy. Having the dread isn't really very helpful either. So I'll be curious to see with the new raid cluster that they're getting rid of Radiance, if they're still keeping this dread gloom effect in, such that you'll need hope tokens and that kind of thing. So that'll be an interesting advance to see going forward. But for the most part, it's been me redoing book quests, leveling my character, and working on my traits and deeds.